up, everybody? Welcome to the kitchen table. Today's topic is going to be definitely fire related, but also something a little different that I don't usually talk about. Now, it's going to be my analogy between a very young fireman full of piss and vinegar catching his first fire and how waiting for that and preparing for that and can't believe he did it, to waiting for, preparing for, making love to a girl for the first time. Now, it compares. It's parallel. Hear me out. Now, hear me out, all right? Once I'm done with this, you're going to be like, yeah, you know what? It kind of is the same thing. Any guy out there, any fireman out there who has been waiting their whole life, who this is what they wanted to do since they were a little kid, and they saw firemen and fire blowing out the window, and they were like, oh, man, look at that. I can't wait. I want to do that. That's what I want to do. I can't wait to do that. I can't wait to fight fire. Can't wait to catch my first job. Just like when there's a young man growing up and he's kind of, going through puberty and starting to see the world a little differently and see girls a little differently. That little girl that he hung out with and played football with or whatever in video games is now starting to look a little different in his eyes, and he's thinking, "Wow, I can't wait to do that." You know what I'm saying? All right, so that's the beginning. Now, catching your first fire. You're somebody that if you're somebody that's wanted to do it their whole life, like me, you've seen it, right? You've seen it in the neighborhood. You've seen it in magazines growing up. You've seen it on TV because, like I did back in the 70s and 80s, there were fires all over the place. So you saw it all the time. You saw it on videos. You saw it on movies. You saw it in the magazines and newspapers, down at the corner store. Just like down at the corner store, you saw it in magazines that they sold them. They sold those magazines. And you're a young man and you snuck a peek at them. Or you found, somebody's stash of videos and you pop one or two in and you've seen it on video. So look, already they're parallel. Already it's like the same thing. So you've seen them as a kid and you knew when you saw both of these that that's what you wanted to do. Eventually you were going to be able to do that and now you can't wait. So what happens is you start practicing to become a fireman. Start practicing for that first job and that's all you start thinking about. And you're working out and you're training and you're studying and you're reading and you're practicing. And just like you're waiting for the other thing, you start practicing for it. You're preparing yourself to do that as a young person, as a young man especially, because young men are maniacs and they don't know what else to do with themselves. So now see what I'm talking about here? It's similar. It's the same. Catching your first fire, making love for the first time, losing your virginity, breaking your cherry. So you finally become a fireman. After all that hard work, after all that training, after all those prayers, you finally become a fireman. After all that work, after everything you've put into your looks, your clothes, you finally get a girlfriend. You get on the fire department, you get a girlfriend. Man, these things are just too parallel, right? It's the same thing. So now, sometimes on a fire department, you can catch a fire right away. And you get right into it, and boom, and you take off like a rocket. Just like a girlfriend. Sometimes you might get right into it. Who knows? It depends on the girl, depends on the kids. You might get right into it. Like, who knows? But most of the time, you wait. You got to wait. And you think you're going to a fire. You think it's going to happen. You think you're going to, catch that fire. And then it doesn't happen. Just like with a girl. A lot of times you got to wait. Men are maniacs. Girls are patient. You got to wait. You think you're going to go out. You're going out with her. You're taking her out to dinner. Or you're taking her out. You're with your friends. And you think tonight's going to be the night. And it's all going to be great. And then, no. She says no. All right. So you go home and you practice some more. You go back to the firehouse and you drill some more. You study some more. So now, finally, one day, remember, you've been preparing for this. You've been practicing for this. The tones go off. And that that fire, that call, the tones drop and that fire comes in, finally. And you know you're going to work. You can hear it. You can hear it over the radio. They call it 1075 and you're getting excited and you're getting nervous and you're fumbling with your clothes. You're fumbling with your bunker gear and your mask and everything, and you don't know if you're doing that stuff right, and you're really nervous, and all of a sudden you get into that fire and it's fucking happening. Boom, oh, and you're in it. Now you're in it, and you can't even believe it. Like something you've been preparing for your whole career, your whole life. All of a sudden you're in it, and you didn't even realize it, and it's there. It's happening so fast, and just like with the girl, finally she's ready, and tonight's the night. And now all of a sudden you're fumbling with your clothes. You're really nervous. You're scared. You're really not sure. It's all of a sudden happening so quick, but yet you've been preparing for it your whole life, or most of your life. And then all of a sudden you're in it and it's happening. And now when you're in the fire, you don't know if you're advancing the hose line right. You don't know if you're working the tools right. You don't know. It's hot. It's smoky. It's dark. You're sweaty. You're breathing heavy. In the bedroom, you're fumbling with your clothes. You don't know if you're operating the equipment properly. You don't know if you're doing the right thing. It's hot. You're sweaty. You're breathing heavy. You see what I'm saying? Do you understand this? And then with the fire, all of a sudden, they open up the line, put water on the fire, and the fire's out. Just like that. Just as quick as it started, it was over. Before you know it, you blinked your eye, and the fire was out. And now you're like, what the fuck just happened? Just like the first time. Fumbling with your clothes, you're doing it, everything's hot and sweaty, and then boom, boom, and all of a sudden, just as quickly as it started, it was over. See? Do you see what I'm saying here? The same. It's all the same. And after the fire, it's the same thing. You're talking with the guys, you're like, you weren't sure if you were in the right position. Then you start asking, was I doing it right? Was I using the tools right? Was everything okay for you? How was it for you? That was great for me. How was it for you? And then you're asking the girl, like, any movie you see, was it good for you? How'd you like it? I liked it. I thought, it was great. And she's just like, yeah, you were great, bro. So just like in the firehouse, just like at the fire, you broke your cherry catching that first fire. You broke your cherry. And then once you catch that first fire, all you want to do is go to fires. That's it. Nothing else. I just want to go to fires. I want to go to more fires. And you want to go to more fires. And just like the first time you're intimate with a girl, after that, you want to do it more and more and more. And you want to do it all the time. And I can't wait to do this again. And this is the best thing ever. I can't wait. Because men are maniacs. That's what we do. Can you see the parallels? And after you catch that fire, now you're walking around like you're the big man on campus. Yeah, I caught fire. See, I'm a fireman now. And just like the other thing, you walk around with your friends. You're like, yeah, I got laid. That's right. What about you nerds? You virgins over there. No, you got laid, but I did. You guys are all suckers. Same thing. I'm telling you, it is parallel. Fire and sex. It's unbelievable, the analogy. How parallel it is, how it just goes straight down. Everything is the same. See? I hope you guys, now that you think about that, when you think about fire, when you think about something else, that's what you're gonna compare it to. So I hope you laughed. I hope that I made your day a little brighter. And remember, it must be true if you heard it at the kitchen table.